quite a beautiful afternoon wherever you're watching us. It's such a beautiful time right now. We have, of course, just less than 15 more days to spring. That's a very beautiful one for us here in the part of the world where we are. We want to say thank you so much for being a part of the show today. My name remains Akim Ogumilade, and welcome to the show, The Spotlight. The spotlight today, like I said, I've been saying this in all the promo materials that it is a bomb, it is a mega edition of the show, that very big one-stop talk show. And today, I would say we have a big fish. All right, and today we will be doing justice to the topic. Just like you can see, it's 45 minutes of program, and of course, that 45 minutes is dedicated to be with an Amazon, a priceless ambassador of the Benin Kingdom. That strong woman, I would say, that author, that honor personnel, that person who is a community devotee. She's our guest on this episode of the show. I wouldn't want to let the cat out of the bag right now, but we'll be doing a lead-in, and the lead-in is going to be so much interesting. I'm not going to introduce my guest directly like I introduce every guest on the show. I'm introducing her in style, in grand style, I would say, because I have a beautiful documentary, from our stables that will speak on our behalf. You will know who I'm talking about. So, guys, keep sharing that network, keep sharing the link right now, because this edition promises to be exciting, rich, and beautiful. And don't forget, it's always educating, entertaining, as well as enlightening. Once more, my name remains Akim Ogumilade. We'll be taking a very short break right now. And after the break, I'm going straight to introduce my guest in style. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
An amazing Amazon, the trailblazing story of a lady with numerous laurels, Nekpen Blessing Obasugi. A young girl growing up in Benin in a large family in the historic Oliha quarters of Benin City, but with a burning hope of a brighter tomorrow, even if in the skies. Her mother, Janet Esiliba, a struggling mother with much love in her heart, who either through culture or circumstances was skeptical about the prospects of female education. But Nekpen's father, an educated Benin man, Roland Obasogie, believed in the potential of Nekpen at a critical age. Her father saw light in her that many could not comprehend when she was very young. This led him to bestow her with the name Blessing when she was about 12 years old in the Benin Kingdom. Most pathetic of all, Nekpen became an orphan in her early 20s, leaving her with younger siblings to cater for. Such were the origins surrounding the now success story, Nekpen Blessing Obasogie. No one would believe the hurdles and emotional challenges she had to endure to overcome and become what she is today, an author of a brand new 2021 book, Great Benin, the Alcazar of Post-Colonial Culture and its Relationship with the Europeans since 1400 AD, the current Assistant Secretary, Nigeria-Canadian Association in the Greater Toronto Area and Environ, a recipient of the Toronto Police Service Black History Month Award in 2020, a mention and recognition as one of the prominent women in Benin Kingdom in a book titled Ancient Heroines and Modern Women in Benin Kingdom. Just 2 months after she published her first book, the Association of Nigerian Authors, Edo State Chapter, bestowed her with an honorarium pen award for publishing such an historical book in diaspora. These include many other awards she has received in Canada and Nigeria for her fascinating work. All these awards in a span of 13 years. Arriving in Canada in 2008, 13 years later, she is on everybody's lips. It can only be by God's grace. And behold, in September 25th, 2021, she launched a book, Great Benin, the Alcazar of Post-Colonial Culture, online in Toronto. The second session of the book launch was hosted in California in the United States on November 27th, 2021.
Boom! Welcome, guys. You see what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's such a pleasure to have this personality joining us live in the studios of Extreme Media, where we're transmitting from the city of Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Let's welcome together everybody as we have in studio with me no other person than Nekpen Obasogie. Nekpen, it's so beautiful to have you here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Akim.
You're welcome.
This is Thank you.
Awesome. So, Nekpen, we'll be doing justice to a couple of questions, and I'm sure that our guests at home, wherever they're watching, they can't wait to be to hear, from you. Your documentary was a lead into your personality, your global brand you represent as an ambassador of your culture. Not just that, a proud daughter, a recognized daughter of the great Benin Kingdom. So let's start with this first question. I am marveled, I am thrilled, and I want to ask you, Deborah, what is the secret? How have you succeeded in making your brand a global phenomenon? You are known in the US, you're known in the UK, and when you go to Africa, you're celebrated, you're received in the Nigeria, top government offices in Nigeria. Nebo, tell us, how did you build this over time?
Thank you, Mr. Akim. Everything in this life, success don't just come when you are sleeping in your bedroom. It's determination, selflessness, and you put anything you want to do in your life, make sure you give it the best. I started my community activities in 2015. I started from my school when I was at York University. I funded an organization for immigrant women. So I also created a group page on Facebook where I promote fashion. After that, I upgraded it to what is now known as Nebo TV. Mm-hmm. So at Nebo TV, the way I've been growing this channel over these years encompasses many things. The Benin history is dominating, as everybody, all my followers, everybody knows that this channel, Nebo TV, is dominated by the Benin history. That Benin history is very prominent in the world with the relationship with the Europeans since 1500 or 15th century, I would say. Since the late 15th century, we had this relationship with the Europeans. It still persists up to date. So, Benin history is like a generic topic in the world. Even my book, writing a book about colonialism, is a kind of a generic book, you understand, topic that, can capture audience, wide audience, global audience. So I think with all those activities and what I've been doing, these are some of the successes of my determination and selfless art in the community. Even right now, I'm the assistant secretary at the Nigerian Canadian Association. So I always devote my time to serve the community. They said it's what you give to the world that the world is going to give back to you. So yeah.
Awesome. Our esteemed viewers, wherever you're watching, thank you so much for being a part of the Spotlight. And you see, today's edition, like I said, it's a very unique one. It's going to be really inspiring. You've had it from the Amazon herself. It's about giving back to the community. That's just one secret, underlying secret about success. And she's added that determination is also key and consistency. Since 2015, she's built the reputation, and here she is today. Guys that are just stay tuned, keep following us on this show as we proceed. Nebo, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure joining us in the studio. I have this other question here. You are currently in the news. When you go on social media, everybody is talking about a recent book launch. I know I've had it on several different, from the United States, people in Nigeria. They're talking about this book launch, this recent book launch of yours. I want to ask you, what gave you that inspiration?
The inspiration, I would say, come from my enthusiasm for the Benin history and culture in diaspora. So, I've been producing many documentaries about Benin history. Sometimes I visit Nigeria like twice in a year to produce some documentaries. I've done so many interviews in Benin. So I decided to write a book based on my experience thus far in the Benin history. So yeah, that was the enthusiasm behind my book. So it was not even a surprise to many of my followers that I
Yeah,
wrote such a
yeah,
book,
yeah, yeah.
knowing fully
For
well
you
that I've
to
been promoting the culture for a very long time.
exactly. So what happened was you've always done a visual interpretation of that historic heritage. So you decided to metamorphosize it into a kind of legacy now, because that book is a legacy. It's a reference point for children, for our generation yet unborn. And I want to say thank you so much for that beautiful idea. And I'm not flattering you. This is we have what we call the beauty with brains. Your intellectual ingenuity is really overwhelming, and it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us. Thank you so much, Nebo. Let's move on and still talk about this book. Everybody said this book is exceptional. I am not disputing it, because I know you personally here in Canada. I know your community works. I know the quality that is attributed to your brand. So, but can you tell us, give us an overview about this book for someone just hearing this for the first time and it's like, oh, what's this book about? Like, just give us an overview, an holistic perspective that can actually, lead us into further interest and enthusiasm into getting that book to lay our hands on it.
Yeah, the book is based on the relationship between the Europeans and the Benin Kingdom right from the 1400 AD. So, I started the book, like I did a summary of the relationship between the Europeans and the Benin Kingdom. The first wave of the Europeans to Benin, the Portuguese, were documented as the first wave of Europeans to Benin, followed by the Dutch, the French, the British people came late, though. They came late. So I did the summary. Then I proceeded to the period of colonization, the Berlin Conference that exacerbated the colonization of territories in Africa by the Europeans. Then I narrowed it down to my own personal experience. My grandmother experienced the British invasion of Benin in 1897. So I also connected it with my experience growing up in a post-colonial culture. So that's pretty much an overview of the book.
Oh my God. This is exceptional. I honestly speaking, I would really, really want to tell all our audience, wherever you're watching, whatever way, when we get to that point, let's find out how we can lay our hands on this book, because this book, the inspiration behind it ordinarily is really, really unique. And not just that, when you look at the way, the overview, the detailed analysis, comparative analysis, and that's transitioning from the AD period to the pre-colonialism, to the colonialism era. And not just that, she was able to adapt as well her own personal image experience, a retinue of background, a direct one. And she's also a grown person who experienced the post-colonial era. So I think this book is going to be really legendary, something our generations yet to come will benefit from. Once again, I'm saying thank you so much. You don't know the value of what you have done. It's beyond what you can comprehend. You have written your name on the sand of time. Now, we'll still have one more question. And for people just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. The show is Spotlight with your friend Akim Ogumilade on this special edition, 45 minutes with Nekpen Obasage. Okay, we'll be taking this other question. There is something I know a lot of people don't ask this question, but the fact is, it was a journey for you to give birth to that story. You had to do a lot of things. I want to ask one very sensitive part of it, a take home that in future people can learn from in the course of their journey to write their name on the sand of time. What did you learn when you were writing this book?
Oh, Good question. I learn a lot.
Hmm.
I learned, despite that, I've been promoting the culture, studying the culture over these years. But during the research, I learned so much about the relationship because the Benin history, Benin is an ancient city that has survived more than 1,500 years. So the Benin history is very broad. So I kind of create a school of thought, my own school of thought in within the Benin history, which is the relationship between the Europeans and the Benin Kingdom and colonialism all together. So even my second book is still based on the relationship between the Europeans and Benin, the colonization, the system, different systems that were introduced to the Benin Kingdom, how it affects the people, the tradition, the monarchical system, and everything. So the second book is based on these areas. So yes, my enthusiasm for the Benin history is something that is playing out in all my activities. So one of my favorite chapters in the book is chapter 9. Chapter 9 was a wow moment for me. I was so surprised that, could you believe in the 18th century, there was a tradition in the Benin Kingdom that any visitor that stepped his or her feet into Benin Kingdom must pass through a palace of one of the big chiefs in the Benin Kingdom to wash his or her feet. So there was a big basin with some water, some leaves, some traditional, materials inside that the white people were mandated at that time to go straight to the palace of Ezomo. Chief Ezomo Nuzebo in the Benin Kingdom, we call the chief Ezomo Nuzebo. So before you can parade the street of Benin, you have to go to the palace of Chief Ezomo to wash your feet in that basin. That basin is a very spiritual basin. So, it just shows how our ancestors, probably they knew what is about to befall their nation. It was a way of cleansing any unjust activities by the Europeans into Benin. So that was their justification at that time. Maybe they knew that something is coming, something violent, something unclean is coming with this, accompany these Europeans to Benin. Maybe that was the reason they implemented such tradition at that time. When you look at what happened after how many years, after 100 years, when the British people invaded Benin, you can see why our ancestors were practicing such tradition at that time. So the chapter 9 is very interesting. Even there's one young man in the United States, he's attending one university in Michigan. He also told me that, I said, you know what, Auntie, chapter 9 is my favorite chapter in this book because it's so interesting. And we also use illustration to tell the story, how Europeans were washing their feet with the basin in the palace of Chief Ezomo Nuzebo. So there was a kind of a nice illustration that we input in that chapter. So it's very interesting. That chapter is one of my favorite.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. All right, we're going to go on a very short break, and after the break, this program is going to continue. But before we go, I want to ask you, how many pages is this book? How many pages is it?
200 pages.
Wow, that's a wow read, That's a wow read. Awesome. Okay, guys, it's still the Spotlight Show this beautiful afternoon, and it's 45 minutes with Nekpen Obasage, that Amazon, that author, and we want to take a very short break. And after this break, the Spotlight returns. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. All right, wherever you're watching us, it's still the spotlight, and welcome back to the studios. It's so fun. I feel elated. I feel excited about my guest on this show, Nekpen Obasage. She is she's really, really done great, and so far so good. You would agree with me. I would want to continue with right again with a series of questions. And Nekpen, once again, thanks. It's such a pleasure having you in the studio. Let's look at. I want you to describe what was the acceptance like in the Benin Kingdom itself. I know you are rooted. I know you are loved and known by people in high places in the kingdom. Could you tell us, describe what the acceptance, how the acceptability of that book was to the kingdom?
The book is well accepted by the Benin people. If you attended the first and second sessions of the book launch, oh my God, the first one, it was amazing, amazing. I was even crying tears of joy after the first book launch. The way the Edo people supported the book. Some people were even saying that probably this book is the first book written, prominent book written in diaspora by an indigene of the Benin Kingdom. Because the book was very popular and very catchy. The story, the theme of the book, the cover. Oh my God. Oh my God. I received a lot of support. The Edo people, the donations, the support. It's amazing. Amazing.
Awesome. I'm glad you mentioned it, that it was greatly accepted, that there was a large use of encouragement for you. That's really, really beautiful. For that, I want us to rest away from the book. Let's put that book aside. I'm going to come back to read. When I know you in the community, what I know you with, apart from even the Canadian community in the US and the UK back home, you are a multi-award winning Benin ambassador. And I would say it's global because it's not just only in Canada. In the US, you've got your people, you've got your theme, you've got people who will love you there. In the UK, same thing. So I want to ask you, how I know you are also, you just added one again. You are the assistant secretary to the Nigerian Indian Association. That's a retinue of responsibility. You are author, you're a community person, you are a parent, you're an honor personnel, you have your brand. Please tell us a secret. How do you manage this tight schedule of yours?
Wow.
We want to learn. We want you to inspire us.
You miss one.
Oh.
I am a case worker. I'm a social worker. I'm working.
Oh.
I am working. So it's not very easy, to be honest, to balance all these activities. It's not easy. Many sleepless nights, I'm telling you. So, and the community work, is very difficult. Sometimes you want to please everybody, but you cannot please everybody. So, my ability to be able to manage people is something that I look myself and give myself a pat on the back. Because I know what I've been doing over these years, never had any conflict with anyone. I've been able to manage people peacefully. Not that I'm not having some people, some violent people in my life, but the ability to be able to manage them, that is what matters. You understand that? Yes. So I think I've been doing so well in terms of managing and working with people over these years. Yeah, balancing these activities, it's not easy. Akeem, I'll tell you, it's not easy, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best with the support I'm receiving from the community, from the public. It's something that is even encouraging me to do more. But sometimes I don't want to push myself more than my limit because I'm a mom, I'm a family person. So yes, I try to balance it as much as I could. Yeah. Yes.
All right, great. Now that takes me to the next question. We understand all these thoughts, and let's go back to the book. Now, what were your challenges you encountered in the process of putting that huge research work together? Like you mentioned already, you have to travel to Nigeria 2 times even before that. I imagine, I know it's a lot of things putting together. Please share with us those challenges so that some people who want to step into your shoes can also look at it and say, okay, I'm going to be prepared for this challenge.
As a mom, as a family person, my mobility is very limited, very, very limited. People used to say, the sky is your limit, the sky is your limit. But as a parent, the sky is not your. I agree that the sky is my limit, but
Yeah.
it's not very easy for me. I've been planning to visit the US second time, but because of my family arrangements and some of my activities, I've not been able to make it. So, it's not easy for me. Those are some of my challenges, being a parent, you
Yeah.
understand?
Family
And
front.
if yeah, so it's very challenging for me. Even my book, given that it's my first book, and I decided to be a self-publisher, even though I have no experience in the publishing industry. So I believe that I can promote the book by myself. I don't need anyone to promote it for me.
Okay.
And I have the platform, I have the resources to push this book to at least the global audience. So I rejected. Many people approached me saying that they want to publish this book for me. I rejected it. I said, I'm going to do this by myself. Trust me, it was not easy to achieve the goal, given that experience is not there at all. However, uh, I was able to get a very good editor here. She lives here in Toronto, so she assisted me a lot. She was the one that even posted the book on Amazon. You understand? She posted it. She was like my big sister. She's a white woman. The first book launch, she came to do a very nice presentation. She surprised me with that presentation. She didn't even tell me that she's coming to do a presentation. This woman prepared a very nice presentation and she presented it so nicely.
Wow. That's great.
Yes.
Great.
So it helps me a lot through the process. So yeah, that was how I was able to solve that puzzle. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you already give me a leading into the next question. I would want you to tell us the title of the book and possibly where can we get this book? You already mentioned Amazon. We don't know if there are other places. Are there links? Can people get the soft copy? Can they rent it online in virtual libraries? Just put us through how can we lay our hands on this book and start with the title of the book and any reference key to it.
Yeah, the book is titled Great Benin, the Alcazar of Post-Colonial Culture and its relationship with the Europeans since 1400 AD. You know
Wow.
what that means? Colonialism, the relationship with the Europeans since 1400 AD. So the title itself encapsulates what is in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is available on Amazon and
Okay.
also available on my website. If you want to purchase the book directly from me, you can access me through my website at nebotv.com. nebotv.com. So if you want to purchase the book from me directly, you can access it through either my website or you email me with my email address, which is nebotv99@gmail.com. You email me, then I will make arrangement on how to get the book.
Great. Great. That's a very beautiful one, guys. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And that led me to one question again. Nebo, in terms of have you gotten recommendations or invitations from the academic front that this book could be adapted into the syllabus of historic thesis for university students or secondary school students who study the Benin Kingdom? Have you had any advances in that area?
Oh, that's a very good question, Kim, right there. So, yes, recently, a few months ago, the book was incorporated into the history department in the University of Benin. So, it's already in the university.
Also,
Yes,
because
yes. That's a very good one. The book
that
is
is so much,
very
yeah,
good.
it's an epic effort. It's not a common one, and
Yeah.
you've been able to sail through, pull through. You've given birth to this huge project that generations to come would reference, and your name will be mentioned. Nekpen Obasake did this, and it's such a pleasure having you in the studio with us. And we have just a very few more questions together. Guys, let's take another break. We've got some beautiful things from Nekpen Obaseki. You're going to watch these beautiful clips, inspiring stuff still all around the book. Stay tuned after our break. We're going to come back after then. She'll stay with us in the studio. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
Great Benin, at home and in the diaspora, the much-awaited historical epic is finally here. The book, Great Benin, the Alcazar of the post-colonial culture and its relationship with the Europeans since 1400 AD. From the stable of Nekpen Obasugi, executive producer Nebo TV Worldwide, comes this great book of all times, which analyzes the political, social, and cultural arrangement of Benin Kingdom before the advent of European influence and the relationship that altered the delicate equilibrium of one of the most powerful tribes of West Africa. How the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Spaniards, and the French caused development and civilization in ancient Benin Kingdom. The book also delves into the unfortunate British punitive expedition in Benin in 1897. All these were a conglomeration of development that resulted in acculturation and colonialism. Some of the core themes in this all-time historical souvenir includes acculturation, colonialism, European treaty system in West Africa, and more. Edonuzomo kemaya ni moredunoma wage ayoza mugina bubu no mihina dagme ewoma agogo na menomaroji edonebuwe igodo ubini kewilela no pebu ewewa ogidi gan no nya galane bemiku. Let us support the restoration of the true facts of Benin history. Obara Tokpe ise.
Beautiful advert there. So guys, I'm telling you, this is one of the best things we can do in the spirit of supporting ourselves in the community, in the Afro-Canadian, Afro-Caribbean community. Let's see how we can, get our hands on this book and, relish the value of that intellectual work that Nekpen has done. I really love the advert and I loved everything you saw there. I love it. Okay, we'll be going back to the studios again. We still have one or two questions for our guest, and I trust she's going to do justice to it. Now, Nekpen, so as a pride to the Benin Kingdom, it will be incomplete to have this kind of culturally embedded Amazon with us in the studio without having a feel of the culture. I know this is taking you as a surprise, we want you to, you could sing, you could chant. We want to see that cultural aspect of you. You've been speaking like the intellectual enigma you are, but let's come down cultural, sell us in Benin. Let's have a feel of what that cultural aspect of you has to offer us. That's the entertainment part of it. Let's see. Let's have you do something for us, Nekpen.
Thank you. You want me to sing?
Yeah, could be you want to chant, you want to do anything. You just want to feel your vibes culturally.
I like to sing. Okay. So I
Okay.
have this song. I'm going to translate after singing the song. The song goes like this. How many were no nyade? Heganaya yoriana we many were Egania yare many were ganaya yare now we many were.
That's beautiful. So what's the translation now? You probably
The
should do this.
translation is whenever you wake up in your life, is money in your clock. You might be in your 60s, in your 70s. Anytime you wake up in your life is considered as money. You know what that means.
Awesome. That is philosophical. And Nekpen, I think it could be a message for somebody watching this program today. What she said is it's never late to start. Your start time is just always your start time. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do in life, don't give up, don't lessen yourself, don't limit yourself by thinking or by any environmental factor. Go for it. Never say it's late. It's never late until it's over. That's just it. That is inspiring. That is deep for me. And I want to say personally, thank you so much, Nekpen, for that inspiring
You know
song.
what? You know why I like this song? This song is like my own personal experience in life. If you watch my mini documentary, my academic dream, how I have a gap within my teenage years till when I was already in my 30s before I started school again. Could you believe that I came to Canada with high school diploma? High school diploma. So when I came to Canada, I spent another 2 years in the high school here in Canada. So it's like, whenever you wake up in your life is considered as money in your own clock. You understand that? So I spent 7 years in the university. Everything summed up to be 9 years in the school system here in Canada. So it's never too late. Never too late.
Determination. Okay, thank you so much. Like we'll begin to round off on the show because, like we promised people, it's 45 minutes, and this 45 minutes has been epic. It's been beautiful. It's been rich for me. Let's go on a very short break, and after the break, the show continues. I'll be back. We want to link up with you. I'm sure a lot of your fans. We need your social media handles. We need information on how we can reach out to you. After this break, we're going to go straight to that. Thank you so much. All right, welcome back, and thank you so much, Nebo, for remaining with us in the studios on this beautiful edition of the Spotlight. Now, let's unveil to us. We want to know your Instagram, your social media handles. We need all those details. Our viewers really, really want to connect with you, and we want to follow you. We want to keep. We want to give back to you because we know you've given back to the community a lot, and that way, and also the Amazon link, how we can, get access to the book. And if there are other ways we can support such historic gestures in the future, and we don't know if you have such links on your website, do an overview and holistic education about these areas.
Yeah, the book is available on Amazon with the name Great Benin, the Alcazar of Post-Colonial Culture. You can research it with the title of the book. And on my website as well, nebotv.com, you can also have access to the book if you want to purchase the book, and even the Amazon link is also available on the website. So you can also find me on Facebook at nebotv, on Instagram nebo_TV, on YouTube at nebotv. So yeah, if you want to connect with me personally, you can also follow me on my Facebook profile, Nekpen Obasogi.
All right.
I also have another channel, Nebo TV. Yes, recently I realized that I cannot incorporate the language program with the Nebo TV, so I have to separate it from the Nebo TV itself. So I created a new channel for that, Nebo TV Edo.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. We want to begin to round off gradually. There are a lot of other people outside, young people in the community who might have academic delays too and stuff like that. You've been able to tell them never late to start. Now, as an entrepreneur, as an author, as a visionary, as a caseworker, What is your candid advice for generations behind you? People still struggling to find a purpose for themselves.
It's never too late. My story is a good example of how I struggled for years. My family, my parents never sent me to school. I even struggled to complete high school in Benin. So never relent. Whatever dream you have in your life, keep pushing. Keep pushing. One day you will realize your dream. So it's never too late. I went back. I went back to school at when I was almost 40. Almost 40 years. I went back to school and started from high school. I spent 2 years in the high school before I got an admission to the university and spent another 7 years in the university. So I'm currently working on my PhD. So it's never too late. Wherever you are in the world, if you are watching me today, if you have any dream that you have been pursuing over these years, keep doing the right thing. Your dream will be realized.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I tell you, on behalf of the entire crew in the studio, we give it to you, Nego. This is really, really inspiring, guys. Really, really inspiring. You have something to take home from this beautiful edition. Never late, never late. Stat. And interestingly, we thank God for your life, Debo. You're an inspiration. You're still with us. We're praying that you're going to live long and you're going to really enjoy the fruit of your labor, with dedication to community and service to humanity. Once again, thank you so much for being with us in the studio on this edition of the show, The Spotlight. This is all we'll be able to go. Thank you so much, Nebo. And to our esteemed viewers, wherever you're watching, thank you also for being a part of this wonderful show. It's The Spotlight. It comes up every fortnightly. We bring to you different guests, different genre of experiences, things that we know would inspire and help you also become a better person. And if you have brand sponsorship, we are open for such balances within. We can do your promotions for you on our platforms, and we'll make sure that you get the value for your commitment with us. Once again, thank you for joining us. The next edition comes up in the next 2 weeks, and we will be having a governorship aspirant who is running for the position in Oyo State under a new political party, Mr. Akin. I tell you something, that's going to be another very rich one. We want to ask him a lot of questions. You're leaving Canada as a Nigerian Canadian. You're going into politics in Nigeria. How prepared are you for the education of the people to understand that, it's not the way we think outside here in Canada. It's different from the way politics is run in Nigeria. How prepared is he? And not just that, what is he taking on? It's going to be a very, very, very beautiful one. I don't want to delve into politics, but I have this guest and I want to make sure that we really get him prepared from here so that whatever he's going on to do, we're going to wish him all the best. So stay tuned and expect that. My name remains Akim Ogumilade. I'm going to see you same time next week on this channel. Keep sharing and keep subscribing and show some love by writing very good comments. This encourages us in our studios. It's goodbye.